Hello everyone, my name is Z and welcome to another card pack opening video. Today I've got 80 packs saved up for you and, well, some of you might be asking, why wait so long? Why didn't you do it at 40 or something like that? And the answer to that is pretty simple. Blizzard recently made some big changes to the way packs work in Hearthstone. Most specifically, if you are opening packs and you open a legendary, it's not going to be one you already have in your collection, unless they're giving you a golden version. And they've drastically reduced the amount of duplicates you get in packs. So you're going to see a lot more variety of commons, rares, and epics in each pack you open. This means we're more likely to get good cards, and we don't have to worry about getting duplicate legendaries anymore. So we'll have a whole bunch of new cards to add to our collection. So today I've got a couple packs from pretty much all the sets. And as you can see up here up top, we've got a couple of the packs that we can't yet open from the new expansion, which is going to be coming out later this week. In the meantime, though, we've got all of these packs to open, some from Classic, one from Whispers of the Old Gods, one from Mean Streets of Gadgetzan, and this is going to be our preeminent and probably only Un'Goro pack opening video as well. Let's start with these guys because I think we just want to get these out of the way. Hopefully we'll get some good stuff. So, I should mention to you guys that there's some sort of weird Hearthstone graphical issue going on. Apparently, like, overlays are kind of screwing up some of the graphics in the game. So that includes my recording software. So unfortunately, you're not gonna see the names of the cards. However, I could I could name them all by heart if I really wanted to. And at least you can see the rarities and the mana costs and the descriptions and stuff like that. So that's what they're gonna be like mostly for this entire pack opening video. Apologies in advance. Let's move on. What do we have? We've seen all of these before. Pretty decent cards all around, maybe with the exception of Silence. Look at that, see? No duplicates whatsoever. We're opening completely different cards, which is so awesome. Unfortunately, I've collected pretty much every card in the classic set, so we're probably not going to see a whole lot of, well, actually, I don't know if I have 2 golden freezing traps. And what? I did get a duplicate. What? This is such a lie. Hold on. I definitely have 2 deadly shots. But everything else seems to be working as intended. We've got a bunch of stuff here. I think we've been over all these cards in previous videos, so I'm just going to kind of scroll through these really quickly. But when I get to the Un'Goro packs, that's when I'm going to start slowing down. Nice, some good cards here with the Abyssal Enforcers and whatnot. Okay, so that's all the expansions that are non-Un'Goro related opened up. Strangely enough, I have been getting some duplicate commons in those packs, so I'm not sure if it's specifically related to the newest expansion or whatnot. If it's a bug, I know they said the card pack changes were live a couple days ago, so I waited a couple days to be sure. If I continue to get duplicate cards, I will get a lot of those just because I don't have a whole lot of Un'Goro cards in the first place. But if I know I've got duplicates and I get them again, I may have to send a ticket to Blizzard or something like that. We'll see. Anyways, let's give it a go. We're still going to go through with this, and hopefully we'll get some good stuff. Alright. So, let's do some explanations here, shall we? Now, you can't read the names of any of these, but I actually think I know all of the names of these by heart already. So, please don't hate me. Let's start with Jeweled Macaw here. It's a hunter card, 1 for a 1/1. Add a random beast to your hand. It's really great in tempo, mid-range, and aggro hunter. It really sets you up because you start off with a 1-drop and you get some future beast value in the future. I said future twice there. Tidal Surge is a shaman spell. It's nice because it does 4 damage and restores health to your hero. It's great stall, good decent control card. Shimmering Tempest is part of the elemental synergies of the new tribe that was added in Un'Goro. It's a pretty decent 2-drop. It has weak stats, but it has this great death rattle. Add a random mage spell to your hand. Most mage spells are good, so you're pretty much guaranteed to get some good value out of this card, even if you play it into something like a hero power or something like that. Flame Geyser, another decent mage spell, does 2 damage as a 1/2 elemental to your hand, great with elemental synergy. And another hunter card, this rare here, Tolvir Warden. It's a 5 for a 3/5, draw 2 1-cost minions from your deck. Good for tempo, though you don't really see it in constructed. Sometimes you will see it in the arena though. It's good for draw in that case. What do we have next? Cool, our first epic from Ungoro. That's nice. Tortolan, what is it called? Forager? Tortolan something. Tortolan something or other. I just remember the turtle part. He's a pretty decent card. He's alright, but he could be better. That discover a spell and cast it with random targets is really interesting, and I'll give you some tips here since I can't really think of anything good to say about it besides that. When you discover a spell, if it's an AoE spell, it will always be against your opponent. If it is a secret, it will always play a secret for you. If it's a draw a card spell that you discover, you will always be the one to draw cards. So like things like that will always be in your favor. Everything else, single target removal, hard removal, you know, silences, soft removal like silences and stuff like that, is random targets. So be careful what you do when you do that. In addition to that, we've got some cool stuff here. A lot of beasts in this deck, actually. That's interesting. And another elemental. I can't remember this. Something Stegodon. Something Stegodon. I can't remember what it's called. Armored Stegodon. It's a warrior 6-drop. It's great because the stats look weak for turn 6, but with the adapt, you can usually balance that out. That's kind of the point of the whole adapt mechanic. This guy, I can't remember his name, we're just going to call it the Loch Ness Monster. And that's just a solid 7-drop. It's got good stats and a good death rattle. This guy right here, Nesting Rock, is a super good card in the arena because most of the time you'll be able to get off that battle cry. A 4/7 with taunt for 5 mana is super cost efficient. And like, it almost has comparable stats to this 7 mana guy right here. Isn't that great? And finally we have this elemental here, who basically just is like kind of like a delayed harvest golem. Instead of having something on the board after it dies, you add things to your hand, and the point of that is to like play into elemental synergy. I think you play one of those 1/2 elementals, and then the following turn, if you have any elemental synergy battle cries, you then play that like those things. Okay. Alright, so we're seeing some things we've seen before. And like I said, the card changes don't mean that we won't get a ton of like these Shimmering Tempests or anything like that. It just means in the pack itself, we shouldn't get a whole lot of duplicates. Now, let's see. We have not been... What is this? Ravasaur? No, that's not Ravasaur. I don't remember what it is, but it's a really great Hunter 2-drop. Once again, seen in Tempo Hunter and Mid-Range Control Hunter. Also great to pick up in the arena. This guy, Ultrasaur. Pretty good, but not great. Very slow to play, so you don't really see it a whole lot in the arena. But it does show up occasionally, and it's got beast synergy. This guy we've already been through, and I can't remember the name of this plant, but you won't see him a whole lot in the arena. You may see him in constructed with like taunt-based decks with Sun Fury Protector and Defender of Argus and stuff like that. Oh man, more Shimmering Tempest, but that's okay. We'll just dust them later. This card is a great card. I'm going to start with this because I know what it is. It's the most annoying card that I could probably say came out of the expansion in like relation to the arena. Maybe the exception would be Vine Cleaver too. That's a pretty annoying card, which we have yet to see. This is a Paladin spell, gives your minion a 2/6 and taunt, and when it dies it summons a 2/6 with taunt, which is really super annoying. It's just the amount of value you get from that is insane. Tortolan something or others, these are priest cards. They're also like 2/6s. There's some sort of beasts kind of like stat synergy going on in this expansion, and it has a great death rattle. So like the fact that it only has 2 attack for turn 4 is kind of negated because it has a decent death rattle. Oh, we missed that other elemental, but he's just a decent 2-drop. Unstable elemental. Ooh, another epic. This is pretty fun. We've already been through Flame Geyser, We have a little bit more Murloc synergy. You're going to see this Murloc totem in aggro shaman decks with Bloodlust, and sometimes you will see it in the arena too, because if it stays alive, then you basically get a lot of value out of summoning those 1/1 Murlocs. Earth and Scales is a great druid card. You see that in aggro and control druid in constructed, and you'll see it picked up in the arena because it heals you and buffs a minion, and it's cheap, which is awesome. And finally we have, what is it, Dinomancy, which is basically, it turns the hunter hero power from deal 2 damage to give a beast +2/+2, so you get that nice beast synergy there. Alright, these are all new cards, I think. Top one here is Hallucination. It's a Rogue 1 spell. It discovers a card from your opponent's class, so kind of fitting with that whole synergy with the steal a card thing that Rogue has got going on. This guy is, I can't remember, is this Fire Elemental or Flame Elemental or something like that? It's a great 1-cost elemental. You'll see it in elemental shaman decks. You'll see it picked up pretty frequently in the arena too, because you get 2/4 with their stats for 1 mana, even though it's split up. So you usually only kind of get that 2 worth of stats balanced out. The fact that it synergizes with elementals though makes it a pretty darn good 1-drop. This guy is a Razor Petal Lasher? Leaf? Razor Petal Lasher? Something like that. Decent rogue card. You'll see it a lot in combo rogue. You'll see it a lot in the arena too, because it just provides a nice 1 mana deal 1 damage spell, which you add to your hand, so you draw a nice little spell there, and which can also be used as a great combo opportunity. I can't remember this guy, something Pterodax, and he's a really nice like warlock card. You'll see it a lot in aggro warlock in constructed, because aggro warlock will have a lot of 1/1s or cards with death rattle. And so they don't really have to worry about that battlecry destroying a friendly minion. They basically just get the benefit of adapting twice, so it's really strong. You'll also see it in the arena too. Alright, what's next? Cool, I think these are all new too. I can't remember, this is like the young Pterodax or something like that. It's okay. It's basically balances out with the battlecry adapt. You can get bunch of different adapt abilities, bonus attack, bonus health, +1/+1, which is both of those combined but less overall. Stealth, poisonous, divine shield, any of those adapt abilities kind of make it a decent 3-drop. Tar Lurker, I think is what this is called. Man, this is kind of a fun game, figuring out what everything is called. It's, you know, a solid 5-drop. You see it, I think, in Reno Lock in Wild, but I don't know how much you see it in Constructed. I don't know exactly. You will see it in the arena though, because having a 4/7 on your opponent's turn is pretty darn good. Grievous Bite is a very good hunter common. It has the ability to, it just gives the hunter more control, which is kind of like what hunter lacks most right now. And I think in the next expansion they get even more control, which is they're going to become a mid-range control class again. So you won't be seeing as much aggro, I think, with them. It deals 2 damage to 1 minion and 1 damage to adjacent ones, so it's great against early game stuff. Or if you just need to get rid of like something with 2 health, it's a pretty cheap spell, so it's effective. Giant Wasp, you're going to see a lot in the arena. It's just a solid 3-drop. It's got stealth and poisonous, so it trades up with pretty much anything from, you know, 3 drops to 10 drops. Combo that with this card over here, Molten Reflection, and you've got yourself a pretty nice board of a control-based board. It's hard to deal with that stealth unless they've got AoE, and having 2 on a board to take care of some minions, it's pretty powerful. Cool. I don't think we have any of these yet. This is exciting. We've got, what is this guy? Something insect. He's just a solid 1-drop, and got that beast synergy. This is Tortolan Forager. He is a really nice druid card because he basically just gives you value. You add a random minion with 5 attack to your hand, and you get decent stats for turn 2. You're going to see it a lot in the arena, and I think it's also in aggro druid in constructed. Gentle Megasaur, or not, is it Gentle Megasaur? Gentle something. Adapts Murlocs. You will sometimes see it in Constructed, you will see it in Murloc Shaman, you will see it in Aggro Paladin, because Aggro Paladin loves using Murlocs for some reason. I think it's because they have Vilefin Inquisitor, which is that 1/3. Turn your hero power into summon a Murloc. I can't remember this guy's name. Oh well, he's a decent card, but you don't see him as much as you probably would expect in the arena. Maybe because you're not really planning on discarding a whole lot in the arena. Aside from that, in Constructed, if you're building discard lock, that's like what it's built for. You get something back, so it's trying to provide some value for a discard lock. And this guy, this is Flame Elemental, I believe. And this guy is basically like, you'll see him pretty much all the time in the arena nowadays. He's a pretty staple common card. He's got a great battle cry for 4 mana, and the stats, while they're not great, are made up for with the battle cry. It's great for removing early game minions or clearing something off, and the elemental synergy just, you know, it just adds to the whole kind of elemental pantheon. Okay, so we're starting to see some stuff that we've already seen before, but there's one thing we haven't seen yet. This is Mana Bind. I know you can't read those names, but it's a pretty annoying secret. You're going to see it a lot in the arena, because no matter what spell they throw out, as long as it's not the coin, you get value from it. It turns whatever, it adds that spell, whatever spell is played, to your hand, and that spell then costs 0, so you can make like a huge tempo play. Like if they play a Flame Strike or a Firelands Portal or a Spike Ridge Steed or something like that, all of a sudden you just get this massive tempo swing. So they may do something big to you, then immediately you do something big back to them, which is pretty awesome. Okay, we've been through most of these. I can't remember what this guy is called. So this is the Unstable Elemental, or whatever it's called, Storm Elemental, something like that. It's a decent 2-drop. Does good removal, but it's situational because you have to set it up with the Death Rattle. This guy, oh, what's his name? Something like Lakari Fellhound, I think it is cool. You won't see it a whole lot in the arena though, because of that battle cry, discard 2 random cards. Other than that though, it's got great stats and is just pretty fun to play around with. This is Cold Light Oracle, another elemental card, and a priest class card. It's pretty fun. It adds to the whole priest synergy with stealing a card from your opponent's deck, which is fun. And that added elemental synergy makes it pretty much worthwhile for an early game play. What's next? Okay, we've got a couple of things here. Oh, I can't remember what the name of this one is, but it's okay. It's not great. You really won't see it a whole lot in the arena, or in Constructed either, I think, for some reason. No, you might actually see it in Aggro Druid. I can't remember though. Stormwatcher is a nice big late game elemental play with Wind Fury. It's pretty terrifying because it's got that 8 health, which makes it hard to deal with. And Wind Fury means it basically has 8 attack, but it's split, which is maybe better in some cases, just because you can then choose to decide where the damage goes. If there's a bunch of small minions, it's great for control, or you can just hit the face. Binding Heal is a nice priest card. It's cheap, restores 5 health to yourself and a minion, so it's a great save. And this, I think, is Ravasaur, or like Runt. This is Ravasaur Runt. It's okay as a 2-drop. It's got the okay 2/2 stat line, but you really want to get that battle cry off, which is kind of hard to get off. You need to have at least 2 other minions, in which case you'll adapt, and then it basically equals a 3 or 4 drop, which is pretty awesome. Alright, so we've seen a couple of these, but there's a couple more that we haven't yet checked out. We're still getting duplicate commons, so I don't know what that means exactly. Well, doesn't matter. We'll try again, and hopefully we won't get them anymore. In terms of new cards though, we've got a couple here. They're both elementals. Oh, what's this guy called? Don't know. It's a priest card, but it's really strong. It's got good stats and a great passive ability. And this guy. I know the name of this too. Oh, it's like something something. Wellspring? Well something. I really should look up the names, but it doesn't really matter. I just hate that we have a graphical error here because of this recording software. It sucks. Anyways, you're gonna see this in Elemental Shaman and Constructed, and you'll see it a lot in the arena because it's got decent stats for turn 3 and a pretty darn good battle cry. Okay, I think we've seen most of these. The only thing we haven't seen is Razor Petal Leaf, I think it was, or like Razor Petal Volley. Basically, you just add 2 Razor Petals to your hand. They're the 1 mana, deal 1 damage spells, so good for combos. I personally use this in my Malagos Rogue deck. I think it's really fun if you can get that combo off. You will not really see it in the arena though. A couple new cards here. Tar Creeper, Ironhide, Adaptation, and Galaka Crawler. Anti-pirate card here. This will start with the rare Galaka Crawler. It's just a solid 2-drop, and it has the potential to become a really annoying 2-drop if someone plays pirates. Adapt. It's an okay paladin spell. It adapts a friendly minion, which means you can get one of those 6 or 7 or 8 different adaptations. I don't want to go through them all again. You can look them up yourselves. Tar Creeper is just a solid 3-drop with elemental synergy, and this Ironhide I haven't really seen a whole lot of use in either Constructed or Arena yet. However, the next expansion I think may bring about a resurgence of gain armor abilities in the warrior, because the warrior becomes a whole lot more control based. Okay, so we've been over a couple of these too, but we've got 2 up top here that we haven't been over yet. This guy, I know the name of this guy too, but I can't remember it off the top of my head. He is okay for a 3-drop. You need to make sure you have a minion with 5 or more attack in your hand though in order for it to get that battle cry off. And we have Volcanosaur. Oh, thank God I remember that one. This is like an iconic 7-drop card from the Untitled expansion. It's got a great battle cry. It adapts twice, so basically you can have like an 8-9 if you get the +3 attack and +3 health adaptations together. You know, you can get Poisonous Divine Shield Stealth, Poisonous Stealth, can't be targeted by spells or abilities, and Poisonous. You know, like there's so many different combos you can go, and you basically just adapt to suit whatever your board needs are. It's really good though. Oh yes! That's what I'm talking about. An epic and a legendary and a new card too, a new rare. Let's start off with the rare. This is Mimic Pod. It's a rogue card. You will see it in combo rogue because, or miracle rogue, because half the time you're just gonna draw like super cheap spells like backstab or something like that, or eviscerate, or the 5 mana, the guy that destroys a minion if with a combo. It's super annoying. And Biteweed is another rogue card. You won't see this in combo rogue though. I guess it just was deemed not strong enough to be played. You will see it sometimes in the arena though. It's a combo card. It's like a weaker version of the legendary Edwin Van Cleef. And I mean, if you get a ton of 0 and 1 mana spells, you can buff it up pretty good. Other than that though, you're probably only going to get it buffed once or twice. So it doesn't really balance out for being an epic. And finally, we have our first legendary of the day here. Unite the Murlocs. It's a 1 mana spell that will always appear in your opening mulligan, or opening hand, unless you mulligan it. It's 1 mana. The quest is to summon 10 Murlocs, and you get the reward Megafin, which is, I believe, an 8/8 Murloc that fills your hand with Murlocs. That's its battle cry. It's a pretty fun card. You'll see it in Murloc Shaman. Have not seen it in the arenas. In fact, I don't think you can pick up quests in the arena, which is kind of funny, but I guess it makes sense because of the situational draft. So you really will only see it in a Murloc Shaman deck. Still, glad to have my first like Ungoro legendary. Oh look, a golden shimmering tempest. No way. This is like our 4th or 5th one that we've gotten today. Oh well, I'll take it. It's golden. Tons of flame geysers too, but we have a couple of new cards. Let's go over the common first. This is Giant Mastodon. It's a 6/10 with taunt. It's got pretty darn good stats for turn 10, and that taunt makes it pretty annoying to get through. You will see it in the arena. You won't really see it in constructed. Vine Cleaver. This is what I'm talking about. This card here is like right up there with most annoying cards in the expansion. It's a 7-mana weapon that Paladin has. After your hero attacks, summon till 2/1/1 Silverhand recruits. It's a great way to remove minions and fill your board for future tempo plays, like using buffs and whatever. It's just super strong. If you see it like available to draft in the arena, you pick it up. Basically, it's just like Spikerid's Steed in that case. It's like a priority card. And this one, I cannot remember what the card is, but I do know that it is a rogue class card, and it synergizes with their whole like reduce the cost of cards you've played from another class synergy. It's alright. It's Fiery War Axe with an extra durability charge, so it is pretty good at removing stuff for 4 mana. Alright, a couple of new things. Oh no, just one. Feeding Time here is the Warlock's 5-mana spell. It's great because it deals 3 damage to a minion and summons 3 1/1s, so you get 6 damage split total. And that synergizes with things like Power Overwhelming and all sorts of other, like, you know, fun little buffs that a Warlock has. So you will see it in Aggro Warlock. You will pretty commonly see it against Warlocks in the arena too. Okay, I can't remember the name of this guy. Some sort of like explorer, something like that. You won't really see a whole lot of it in play though, because while it has great stats for turn 2, its battle cry gives your opponent 3 1/1s, so it's basically a 2/3, right? So the combination of that with like your opponent being able to dictate whether or not they want to use spells or something like that makes it pretty weak. Okay, we've seen all of these cards. Spikerid's Steed, glad to have you again. Sweet! This guy is super annoying to deal with, and he is the only card that we haven't seen already, so let's go over him. This is Vile Spine Slayer. It's a rogue card, combo destroy a minion. It's there to be used as an assassinate, basically. You don't play it until you have the combo ready, in which case, goodbye whatever minion you choose to destroy it in. It's a priority card to pick up in the arena, and you will see it in Miracle and Combo Rogue as well. Oh, this is new. What's his name though? He's like something Pool Elemental or something like that. Rock Pool Elemental? No. I'm thinking of the Murloc. Anyways, oh, Wellspring Elemental something. Ah, crap, I can't remember what his name is. I guess it doesn't matter. It's a Shaman card. It's 2/1 Elemental with can't be targeted by spells or hero powers, so it's tough to deal with. And it provides elemental synergy for Shaman, so you'll see it in Elemental Shaman, and you will see it in the arena because it is tough to deal with. Hey, another epic. Awesome. And it's a good one, too. It's also the only thing we haven't seen already in our packs. Meteor is a nice mage spell. It gives mage more AoE, which it really doesn't need, but hey, why not? You know, mage with the good spells, I guess. It's pretty insane. It does 15 damage to one minion and 3 damage to adjacent minions, so you can use it as a powerful single target removal card for those, 10 drops or whatever. And it also has the potential bonus of dealing AoE damage to other weaker minions, which is just awesome. It's a priority pick in the arena, and I believe it is also in Freeze Mage? I don't know though, that might not be true. It may be a tech card that people put in. Everything we've seen here already. We've seen everything here except for this card right here. This is a Paladin card. It's called Lost in the Jungle. Sorry, you can't read the names again. It's just a fine tempo play. Gives you 2/2 worth of stats on turn 1, which is just, it's fantastic. This guy, god dang it, why can't I remember these guys' names? It's another Tortolan guy though, but it's got a pretty fun little battle cry, choose one ability. You can either make it a 3/5 with taunt or a 5/3 with stealth. So it has its uses in both ways. It's great for control or to stall, and it's a pretty high priority pick in the arena if you see it. Oh, this is called Firefly. That 1-mana guy is called Firefly. If I see it again, I'll find out. Cool. This is Blaze Caller. I don't think we've seen this guy yet, but we have seen everything else. He's a nice epic card. He once again provides that 6 synergy with elementals. You'll see it in Elemental Shaman because it basically has like Fireball or Firelance portal ability in combination with dropping a 6/6 on the board. You'll see it in the arena, but only if you draft enough elementals for it to work out. I mean, sometimes you will see it otherwise too, because it just has decent stats too for around those turns. This guy is the guy that I was thinking was like rock pool or like elemental or flame something elemental. Geyser. It's like something geyser, but one of those is geyser, a geyser elemental. Is a 1/1, once again fits into the shaman elemental synergy kind of like thing that they were going for, but you won't see it as much in elemental shaman decks because there are better picks for elementals like Tar Creeper and the other 3 mana, the one that is the Death Rattle that gives you the extra elementals. Sabertooth Stalker, an 8/2 for 6. It's really meant to just kind of be a finisher type play or to maybe provide some big late game removal. However, it is so easily removed that you won't see it a lot in the arena, and I don't know if it's even used and constructed at all. Cool, old rare. It's another Tortolan villager, something like that. Glad to see that one. This is what I was talking about here. This is Rockpool Hunter. He's a funny Murloc. He's a common, so you can be used in multiple different Murloc decks, from Murloc Shaman to Murloc Paladin to Murloc anything. Is a solid pickup in the arena because you do see a lot more Murlocs in the arena nowadays, and also just has the solid 2/3 stats for turn 2. This is Frost Elemental. I don't think we've gone over him yet, so I'll go over him. Just a great 1-drop, 2/1 with a great battle cry, freeze an enemy, so you can prevent an early weapon play or prevent some damage in the game. And like I said, it's cheap, so you can combo it, set up for next turn when you have like a big elemental play or something like that. We've been over everything here. No, we have not. This is wait, is this Tar Creeper? I may have messed up my names. The Warlock one may not be Tar Creeper, or is that Tar Lurker? That might be Tar Lurker. This is Tar Creeper, and the other one is Tar Lurker, I think. So Tar Creeper is a big warrior taunt. Fits into the old Taunt Warrior quest synergy thing, so you'll see it in Taunt Warrior. And you will also see it in the arena because it has those really awesome stats. It's just a great defensive card. It won't tempo you to win a game, but the value you get just from the massive amount of stats you get is pretty great. Oh man, double epics? That's awesome. Love to see that. I can't remember what this guy is called. It's like a giant like anaconda or something like that. And this is wait, Bittertide Hydra. Ooh, I'm glad I remembered that one. This is a tough game. Bittertide Hydra is just like kind of fitting that 5-mana 8/8 synergy combo that you saw back in what was it? Was it all the way back in Goblins versus Gnomes that they had the Fell Reaver, discard a card. You do 3 cards for every minion or card that's played on a turn. Basically, you're sacrificing something for those great stats. In this case, it's if this minion takes damage, deal 3 damage to your hero. So you're mostly playing this when you're ahead on the board or you are trying to secure lethal with something. It is not meant to be traded with. It's meant to be hitting face, basically. You will lose immediately to Volcano if you play it in the arena. So that's a shaman spell that we haven't run into yet. Because every ping will deal 3 damage. So you can, if you ping it 8 times, you lose 24 health, and that's pretty much game over. This guy, I wish I could remember what this guy's name was, but we don't need to worry about it, I guess. He's got an interesting death rattle, weak stats for turn 7, but a great death rattle, which can summon a potentially huge monster from your deck. So it draws directly from your deck, and which is a big tempo play because it means you won't need to draw it later, and you don't have to worry about drawing it into your hand later. Ah, Stegodon. So this is what I was talking about. So Spiker's Steed gives you one of these as a death rattle. Isn't that annoying? It's a 2/6 beast with taunt. It's a solid 4-drop. You'll see it fairly often in the arena. I don't remember if it's used in Constructed at all, so I'm not gonna like hedge any bets or anything like that. But it's definitely a fairly common arena card. I pick it up plenty of times because it just, that 6 health is great stall material. Ah, nice. There's a couple of new things. Oh, what's this guy called? I can't remember, and that makes me really sad. Give me a second. I'm gonna go over the other stuff first, and hopefully I'll remember that name by then. It's like it's a something sore. I can't remember what it is though. Let's go over Arcanologist first though. Arcanologist, good 2-drop, 2/3 stats, draws a secret from your deck. Great tempo play if you're playing Secret Mage or like Freeze Mage, and solid in the arena, especially if you draft Secret. This guy, something Lizard, right? Thundering Lizard or something like that. It's just more elemental synergy. So if you play an elemental on turn 2, you drop that on turn 3, boom, it gets some great boosts, which make it like equal to a 4 or 5 drop, which is pretty awesome. You will see it fairly frequently in the arena. I don't think you see it a whole lot in Constructed though, because it's a situational card, and there are better common situational cards like Blaze Caller that you will probably end up picking for your deck instead. Okay, we've been over all of these. Cool, another epic. Oh crap, what's this guy? He's like Stonemason or something like that. And this guy I can't remember either. It doesn't matter though. Both of these guys are pretty good. You will see this in like Death Rattle Priests because of the battle cry. If you copy anything with a Death Rattle Priest, it's pretty good because you get immediate value from that 1/1. Aside from that, I did see a hilarious combo where you play this on turn 10 after playing a Blood of the Ancient One on turn 9. If it's not dealt with, you summon a 1/1 copy of it. That triggers the passive ability of the Blood of the Ancient Ones, which is at the end of your turn, if you have 2 of them, summon the Ancient One, who is a 30/30. Pretty insane, right? Stonemason's pretty solid. You'll see it in Elemental Shaman decks and also in the arena. Because you get a great spread distribution of stats. You get, what is it, 4/6 worth of stats if you get the Elemental Synergy off, so it becomes an 8/10 for 7. And 4/6 of that is in taunt form, so it's very annoying to deal with. Anything new here? Nope. Oh, I remember the name of that Shaman Elemental. It's Hot Spring Guardian. That's what it is. Been over all of these, except for this Priest card right here. This is free from Amber. It is a really strong Priest spell, but you have to get to that 8 mana mark first or in order to play it. Basically, you discover a minion that costs 8 or more and you summon it. Here's the deal. Do not summon weaker minions with Battlecry effects. Like, for example, Medivh. I've seen a ton of people discover Medivh expecting to get for the Battlecry to go off, but it doesn't. You just summon the minion. You're not playing the minion with the Battlecry, you're just summoning it. So you'll only get a 7/7. So what you want to be looking for with Free from Amber are those big minions like Deathwing. You can play Deathwing without having to worry about the Battlecry. You'll just get a 12/12 on the board. Or something with Taunt, like the Giant Mastodon. Basically, those are the cards you're looking for, or big cards with Death Rattles. Like I said, it's really powerful if you're in a control matchup and they're playing really slow, because the potential stat distribution you get from the card is insane. It's really hard to deal with a 12/12 on like turn 10 after a bunch of cards have been used and you're top decking, But if you're playing like an aggro deck and you're losing by turn 5 or 6, it's not as good of a card. There we go. Our second legendary card. And is there anything new here? Nothing. Let's go over this really quick. This legendary card right here is the Druid Quest card. It's called Jungle Giants. You summon 5 minions with 5 or more attacks. So you saw all those cards before that were like 5 attack minions, add 1 to your hand, summon 1, blah blah blah. That is meant to synergize with this quest here, and as a reward, you summon Barnabas. Barnabas is a pretty hilarious card. Once you get him, he's a 5 mana 8/8 beast, and his battle cry is summon, or all the minions in your deck now cost 0 mana. So it's great for like Jade Druid or big control minion based druids, because all of a sudden you've just got super cheap, like 8/8s and 4/12s and 7/7s and 6/10s and 6/8s and whatever other big minions you can think of putting in that deck. However, you have to get to that first. That's kind of the thing, right? If you're not getting there, you're gonna be in trouble. It's a slow quest. Okay. I think we've been over everything here except for Devilsaur Egg. You will see this in aggro constructed decks because they usually have some sort of synergy like buffs or attack bonuses, or even like spells that just destroy them, right? In exchange, you get a 5/5 Devilsaur, so that's quite the tempo play. You will sometimes see it in the arena, but not as often, and only if you draft those synergies like, Dark Iron Dwarf or Defender of Argus or some other play that buffs its stats. Oh man, we're down to 30 packs already? Come on, we gotta get more legendaries. Where are they? Well, we've been over all of these. Let's see. That's not very important. Yeah, well, there's an epic. That's kind of nice. Ah, yeah, awesome. 2 epics and one of them's golden. I will take that. Let's go over these cards right now. This right here is Living Mana. This is a pretty core card in the aggro druid meta right now. It's really great because you can immediately flood your board with minions, and then the turn after, use a cheap spell like Savage Roar or something else like that to just go ham and attack the face. Basically what it does is it takes your mana crystals, turns them into minions, 2/2 treants or whatever, and your leftover mana is like whatever you have left. So if you have 10 mana, you will have 3 mana to use the next turn. All of that is locked into those treants. When those treants die, their death rattle is restore a mana crystal. So those treants can be sabotaged, in which case I think their maximum mana goes down, or does that even work? They'll still maybe gain mana, I guess, at that point. Oh my god, but if you silence them, like with a Priest Mass Dispel, oh, that's awesome. I just thought of that. That's hilarious. You'd be like, someone plays that, like Living Mana, you Mass Dispel them, all of a sudden they only have 1 mana and they have to build up their whole mana pool all over again. That's actually pretty hilarious. Let's move on to the next epic here. This is Chittering Tunneler, I believe, and is a super awesome card. It's a 3 mana Warlock class card. With Battlecry, discover a spell, deal damage equal to its cost. So it's like the opposite of the Ivory Knight, the Paladin card, the 6 mana 4/4. It's cheaper, but it hurts you. However, the ability to discover a spell is really powerful in Warlock, because Warlock has some pretty great spells. Could be Hellfire, could be something like Siphon Soul, could be Soulfire. It could even be something like Forbidden Ritual, which doesn't take any damage from you at all, but is still a really powerful card. So you will see it a lot in the arena. I believe it is also used in Aggro Druid, or Aggro Warlock. And yeah, it's a pretty valuable card from this expansion. Alright, double rares, I'll take it. So we have... what is this? Is this Tolvir Stormshaper? I think this is what this guy is called, Tolvir Stormshaper. This is like one of those core elemental cards you're going to see in Elemental Shaman and stuff like that. It's a 4 mana battle cry. If you played an elemental last turn, gain Taunt and Divine Shield. Just the immense value you can get from that Taunt and Divine Shield is awesome. So that's why you would pick like this card over that other neutral elemental card that I was thinking of. I can't remember what it's called though. Oh well. You will see it in both the arena and constructed, though it is less commonly picked in the arena unless you have already picked enough elementals to get the battle cry off consistently. What next? Oh, this is fun. Okay. These two cards here, this is like the new Paladin Murloc. It's called Hydrologist. It's just a really great value there. You get a secret in addition to 2 worth of stats. So you basically get a 3-cost card, and the secret can be really beneficial to you. It could be something like Noble Sacrifice to prevent damage to this guy. Could be Getaway Kodo, which is a new card relatively, which is basically a delayed sap. It returns the minion that dies to your hand. So if they attack this guy, boom, it comes back. You play it again, discover another Getaway Kodo, cycle that infinitely, you know. Tons of fun combos are available with this card, which makes it really good. And you'll absolutely see it in Aggro Paladin. Anything new here? Nope. Anything new here? No. Oh! I remember the name of that 7-drop card. It's called Sated Threshodon. Points for me. Hooray. Oh, what's this guy called? I want to know. Is this Flame Elemental or Flame Geyser? No, that's Flame. That's the mage spell. What am I talking about? It's like fire something something. This guy, though. Holy crap. How can I not remember this guy? I pick him so many times in the arena. It's not a Tortolan. It's something else. Oh, what is wrong with you today, brain? I guess it doesn't matter. It's just a graphical glitch. It's just super annoying. I wish I could remember, and I don't want to remember all the cards' names. I need that brain space for other information, like how do I eat or how do I breathe? Fine dining. Anyways, let's talk about this card. It is a pretty darn good card. I'll say that. It is 3 mana. The stats that you get initially aren't very great, but the chance to discover like a really powerful taunt minion make up for that later on. So you'll see it picked a lot in the arena. It's used in Taunt Warrior just to get that, you know, consistent like rolling taunt value. You're constantly throwing out taunt cards. It's very annoying to deal with. Nothing new here. Bummer. Anything new here? There's Volcano. This is what I was talking about earlier, if you guys haven't made it this far. This is the Shaman spell that was added. It's the AoE spell. It's very cheap. It will destroy pretty much an entire board most of the time. And if it's played against a Bittertide Hydra on an empty board, your opponent pretty much loses the game. That's just such a funny combo, and I'm so happy when I get that off, and so angry when it gets off on me. Wait. Phrasing. Anyways, you will also see it, I believe, in Control Shaman. You will see it, I think, sometimes in Elemental Shaman, but not super consistently in Elemental Shaman, because it's usually swapped out for more Elemental Synergy cards. These are all old. Cool. Oh, yay, I love this epic card. This is Spirit Echo. It's awesome. It adds that delayed sap ability to any minions you have on your board. If you manage to play it on a decent board, it can really screw people over. You will see it in aggro shaman just because they do run out of cards pretty fast. Also, you will see it picked up in the arena fairly frequently because if you get that off on a good board, like, oof, it's so hard for someone to come back from that. What do we got here? Nothing new. Nothing new here. Ah! Here's the new one. This is Steam Surger. It's a mage card. It fits into Elemental Mage pretty nicely because of that battle cry. If you played an Elemental last turn, you add a Flame Geyser to your hand. Flame Geyser is that 2 mana spell that deals 2 damage and adds a 1/2 Elemental to your hand. So you kind of have rolling benefits there, kind of delayed rolling benefits. It is picked up quite frequently in the arena because mages have a decent chance with Shimmering Tempest and some other cards to get Elemental Synergy off. And of course, it's designed for Elemental Mage, but Elemental Mage is not a super common deck that you will see in Constructed right now. Oh, baby, that's a new one. Oh, the something Explorer and something. Was it Ravaging Pterodax or something like that? Young Pterodax? Pterodax Youngling? Something like that. God dang it. This is Hot Spring Guardian though. I remember the name for this one. This is like Thunder Lizard. This is something Explorer or Discoverer. Names are hard. Both of these cards are alright. This can potentially win you the game. Basically, if you're playing this card and it survives, you're attacking the face because when you attack the face, you adapt it. It can become super overpowered really fast if no one has a way to deal with it. This card is less overpowered and is also situational, but it's still a fairly common appearance in the arena. You won't really see it in Constructed a lot though. Because of its battle cry. Draw a card, changes cost to 5. That means like a 0 mana spell could cost 5 mana, or a 10 mana thing could cost 5 mana. It could go either way. Either way, in the arena you'll see it just because you get that card tempo draw, and the stats aren't terrible. So if you don't really have any better options for epics, you pick it up. Ooh. Thank you. This is a new card, and it's a pretty decent one too. This is Egg Napper. It is a 3 for a 3/1. You might think, oh no, 1 health, that's terrible. Yeah, it is, except for the fact that it summons 2 1/1 Raptors after it dies, so even if they use a hero power or a spell on it, you get 2/2 worth of stats split, which is pretty great. So that brings its total to 5/3 worth of stats for turn 3, which is pretty good. Better than a Magma Rager. Okay, we've been over all of this stuff. We've been over all of this stuff. Oh man, lots of Hot Spring Guardians now. Hello, Volcanosaur 2. Come on, we gotta get some more legendaries. We had 70 packs. Give me a break. This is Firefly. I remembered that one's name. Golden Rare, I'll take it. That's cool. And we've been over all these. Sweet! 2 rares and an epic. We got our second Biteweed, and we've gotten these, so that's dust in the wind right there. We've been over everything here. Give me one more. A golden one. Sure, thanks. Thanks for the golden hot spring guardian. This is Sated Threshodon. This is what I was talking about. We got our second scout, Bright-Eyed Scout. That's what this one's called. Oh man, I love remembering all this card. And we got a new card here, which is, oh, I can't remember what it's called, but it's fun. You will see it in Aggro Hunter, I believe, because you can get off some pretty scary death rattles with it. Put that on a Savannah Highmane, or even just like a Fiery Bat or the wolf, the Hungry Wolf, whatever it's called, and you just get a pretty decent tempo value from it. Only 5 more packs to go. Ah, this is the other core elemental card that you're gonna see. Why can't I remember what it's called? It's like Storm Caller or something like that. It is a 5-mana 4/5 and battle cry. If you've discovered or played an elemental last turn, discover an elemental. You will see this. It's a staple in Elemental Shaman because Shaman has the best elementals to discover, frankly. And we haven't even discovered the awesome legendary, but I can show it to you after this pack opening video so you can see what I'm talking about. Aside from that, we've been over everything else, and yeah, I guess we'll show you that legendary. I want to show you that legendary because it's really good, and that's kind of like why that card is a staple in the Shaman deck. Anything new? Hey, look at that. It's Frost. Is this a Frost Elemental? Frost Caller? Frost Elemental. This is the Frost Elemental. No. Something Guardian. Frost Guardian? Is that what it's called? Something like that. It's a really powerful 6-drop, but it has a terrible passive ability after it attacks, freeze it. However, the stats make up for that, so you will see it fairly commonly in the arena. It's decent for a rare, and you can sort of use it situationally. If you really want to save it for control, don't attack with it, right? Or if you really need to push face, attack with it. It's going to be hard to deal with either way. People aren't going to want to trade into it, so you may get a chance to get like 8-16 damage on someone's face. Yay! A second Vile Spine Slayer, I'll take it. And the other one, like, what is this called? Freaking Young Pterodax. It's something Pterodax. How have I not gotten like a third legendary out of this? This is disappointing. We've been over all those cards. Come on. What the heck? We've gotten like 3 of these. What's the point? Alright, well, we've been over all of these too. Tar Creeper's the best card, I think, out of all of these. Rockpool Hunter's a close second. And, well, now you know what time it is. It's time to freaking craft some cards because we have a ton of dust. First of all, let's do some disenchanting. Look at all those goldens. Oh yeah, look at that dust. Get rid of all of that. We have 3,000 dust to like look forward to. I think I'm only going to craft 1 legendary because I want to save some for the upcoming expansion. There's going to be some really crazy cards coming out that are going to be super duper fun. Death Knights, anyone? We've got a ton of new cards here and we got a ton of dust. What Ungoro legendary should we craft? Good question. I'll get back to you when I figure that out. Alright, I've figured out what I want to craft. Today we're going to be crafting the Warrior quest, which is the play 7 taunt minions quest with the reward of Sulfuras. So, before I go dive into an explanation here, let's just craft it. There it is. Very cool card, and I've been really wanting to play a Warrior in Constructed recently, and that's kind of what sold me on crafting this quest right here. Basically, you play 7 taunt minions, you get a 4/2 weapon that, with the battle cry, turn your hero power into deal 8 damage to a random enemy. So basically you become Ragnaros, except you also have a weapon, and hopefully at this point you've armored up plenty of times, so you've got more health than the Major Domo Executus card, which gives you an 8 health cap. So that's kind of the point, is you set up a wall, an impassable wall that's impossible to get through, and just watches your enemies cry in vain because they can't deal with it at all. Unfortunately, I think this particular constructed deck has fallen out of favor as of late because there are too many efficient removals in the works, at least from what I can tell, and there's even some crazy one-turn kill combos too that you just can't deal with. Mage, for example, their quest, it revolves around a one-turn kill thing, and also they have polymorphs, like Mirror Entity is pretty annoying actually too. Meteors, flame strikes, like it's very against particular classes, it's very annoying to deal with. This deck is pretty good against rogue. I think it's alright against priest. It's pretty good against pretty much most control decks, but against like powerful tempo decks, yeah, you're gonna have some with like big spells, big tempo spells, not small tempo spells like rogues. You're gonna have some trouble with. Okay, there's a legendary. We're gonna save some dust for the upcoming expansion, and in the meantime, I wanted to show you the Shaman Elemental that I crafted a while back. This is Kalamos, Primal Lord. Sorry you can't look at his name, but I'll show you him in all of his glory. He is basically the reason why you put in that the Storm Caller or whatever the heck it's called, the 5-mana 4/5, because getting 2 or 3 of these guys is super freaking annoying for the opponent. Basically, this guy's battle cry is if you play an elemental last turn, cast an elemental invocation. That can be anything from deal 6 damage to your opponent's face to 3 mana enemy board clear, or 3 damage enemy board clear, and also anything like summoning 1/1 minions to fill your board. It's a really powerful legendary with a lot of flexibility, so you definitely want to pick this guy up when you can if you're going to play Elemental Shaman. Alright, that is everything. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you all enjoyed this card pack opening video, learned a thing or two about the cards and the respective values. And, well, I think the next video will probably be in the next expansion. So until then, I will see you all later. So long.